So that girl is Jessie. I met Jessie just as I was starting with college. I attended the University of Hawaii Maui College, and I met Jessie in a business class. All of this happened at the same time that I started playing for Second Life. If you are not sure about what Second Life is, check out my previous vlog. Second Life is a reggae band that I played in. I was their bassist, their bass player. And so all of this is happening all at the same time. Okay. I graduate from high school, I start college, I start playing with Second Life, and I meet this girl, Jessie, in business class. So as time goes on, I learned that Jessie likes music. She sings, and she's a really great singer. And I also learned that she is part of some pageants. So one day, Jessie says, "Hey, can you play guitar for me at one of the pageants?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure." And I'm glad I said yes because it was a really fun and incredible experience to do that. It was fun. So, and again, she's just an incredibly gifted singer, and she's just phenomenal. So, what was I doing at college? I was actually pursuing a degree. Yes, I went to college, but no, I did not finish. I was pursuing a degree through the Applied Business and Information Technology program. It's a 4-year program. And I chose that because at that time, I was already working in IT. I was already starting my career in the field of IT. And I just felt that, going to college and getting a degree, of course, which is true even till today, a degree helps. It may not be essential or necessary, right, to get far in life, but it helps. And that's for that reason, that's why I'm thinking about going back one day. Just to have the paper. I mean, that's Western society. Everything's all about paper, right? So, ABIT is a great program, and unfortunately, like I said, I did not finish. But why dawn on the why linger on the downsides, right? How about we focus on the fun parts, like the partying? Woohoo! Yes, I partied in college. Everybody does, or a lot of people do. I know I certainly was, especially in my first few years. Heck yeah! Every other night I would be partying. So that's the upsides, right? The downsides, you have to study and pass all your tests, of course, pass all your classes. The upside, the parties are friggin' awesome. But anyways, I remember this one night I was hanging out with this other girl. We were in my car and we went back to my place, and so we just hung out, right? And when the nighttime came, I was like, dang it, I really should be studying right now because I knew I had a test the next day. But instead of studying, I was partying. So, but once the party ended and then the realization hit me like, oh, shucks, I have a test tomorrow. I was kind of panicking. Well, kind of. So the morning came and I'm like, all right, partying over. The day is beginning. Got to take this chick home and go to class to take my test. So luckily, I got to class, walked in, opened up my test. The first question was pretty horrible. I mean, I not so much that. Okay, here's my biggest problem with taking tests. Just real quick side note. Here's my biggest problem about taking tests. It's not so much that I don't know the answer. It's that I typically overcomplicate the answer. So, like, and for a good reason. I mean, think about it, right? Sometimes these teachers put tricky questions on there. And it's like, well, if I were to think about it from an abstract way, there's more than one way to answer this question, especially for the type of tests involved with my career. Okay, in IT, there is more than one way to solve a problem. There is more than one way to solve a problem in IT. A lot of times, not always, but a lot of times. Right? It's not just a singular way to solve the problem. It's not just a single solution. So, but anyways, now we're getting a bit out of hand here. All right, so what I want to also talk about though is, because I was playing with Second Life during college, this speaks to the fact that my hobbies and my passions followed me throughout college. So again, think about it. Okay, I pursued ABIT, Applied Business and Information Technology. I was already working as a systems administrator in the field of IT, meaning I was already taking care of networks and hundreds of or thousands of computer systems. Okay, I was already immersed in IT, but I just figured I'd go get the paper. And it's nice because, again, I was passionate about it. It wasn't a chore to go to class. It wasn't a chore to do my homework, because it was meaningful. It meant something to me. It all was in line with my passion, my career. Okay. What is the saying? If you love, forgive me if I say this wrong. If you love what you do, then you'll never work a day in your life. Something to that effect, right? And that's what it was for me. Going to class wasn't a big deal because, heck, I already do this for a living anyways. And so, going to class and learning more was just even more exciting and more eye-opening. And then, of course, that wasn't the only flame or interest or hobby. That was not the only interest or hobby that followed me throughout college. Music, like again, Second Life. Music followed me throughout college and even till this very day. So during college time, I also had an uncle. His name is Uncle Calais Cleveland. Uncle Calais, God bless you, I love you. Uncle Calais called me one day. He's like, "Hey, boy." Hey, boy. Right? That's the Hawaii way. By the way, I call him Uncle Calais, but we're not blood related. In Hawaii, uncle and auntie, not uncle and aunt, but uncle and auntie, is the mainland equivalent, or sorry, for those of you who don't even know what mainland is, we call the continental US the mainland, so mainland. Uncle Calais Cleveland, uncle, it's the equivalent of Mr. and Mrs. All right, so we're not blood related, but it's just this formality, right? It's how we address people, especially elders here in Hawaii, uncle or auntie. So Uncle Calais Cleveland calls me. He's like, "Boy, hey boy," and that's very common. Like, "Hey boy." If you come to Hawaii, you might, and ask people, the way we talk, our way of communicating, and our slang and our accent. Okay, "Hey boy, I get one gig for you. Calm down, play." So I show up at the gig, and it's like the Second Life story from the previous video. If you haven't heard the story, just go check out the previous video. It's online. Book 2, chapter 1. I talk about me and Second Life and walking onto a stage with a really big audience, and I was freaking out. Well, if I was freaked out by that stage that I talked about in book 2, chapter 1, which you can find again on my page somewhere, I was even more freaked out by the stage that Uncle Calais called me to play on, because I sincerely think this stage was bigger than the other stage I played on with Second Life. It felt bigger. The audience was certainly bigger. It was, I would probably put it at a good 300 to 400 people in the audience. It's not huge, but again, understand, for that time, for a college kid who was still relatively new in gigging and playing music, on stage, it's still kind of a big deal for me. I was like, okay, uncle, let's play. Sweating on stage, just like drenched in sweat, because it's, the butterflies, it can be terrifying. um and then over time you kind of get more and more used to performing on stage. But anyways, so that's that. Really, I am so blessed and fortunate that my journey throughout college involved everything that I love doing, all of my passions, all of my hobbies. And, again, like I said, that's technology. Okay. Because I was studying technology in class and going to work my career in technology, all at that same time, in that same period. And I was also starting to play music, and and again, the music stuck with me even till this very day. Where music, even till this very day, it's a love of mine. It's a hobby and a passion of mine. So very thankful for that.